Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and the Brit Sports Talk. And today we are going to give you our top 10 power rankings for the NFL. All right, guys, I know you guys all love football, so there's a group on Facebook you need to get out there and check out. It's Savage Football Memes. They've been great to us. We want you to get in there. Over 52,000 members of this group. And I know Maddie's a big fan of you guys beating him up on there.
I just love it. I just love getting slagged off, as we say in the UK. Just come at me. Like, honestly, I don't work in customer service as much as I used to now because I'm a teacher instead, and teachers get slagged off. But when you get slagged off by 13-year-old kids, you can't have a go back at them. And when you work in customer service, I was just able to treat them like shit, and that would be the way that I'd get back at them. So I miss getting slagged off. So please go over to Savage Football Memes and just slag me off so I can come back at you with some stuff because I love it.
Maddie, like we always do, we're just going to start at number 10, work our way up. For me, this week at number 10, I have the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, fair enough. I did, like they're a solid team. I think with this 10 spot, there's been teams falling off and coming on like every single week. Like it's a really difficult spot in the number 10. I just want to address this before we start properly. Colin Cowherd's top 10 this week has made me lose faith in his sanity.
You sent that to me, and all I said is he's a clown.
Yeah. Cowboys at 10. Who's at the top? Bucks at the top. Cowboys at 10. Titans were above them. Oh, that's just devastating. It was really weird to watch the guy just losing his sanity for a week. But anyway, at my number 10 spot, I do not have the Dallas Cowboys because that's not where they belong. I have the Tennessee Titans. And they've only just beaten the Jags. I'm not giving them too much validity for that. But to shut out the Jags, that's a big deal. But
and then to be to be leading your division in the NFL right now, I mean, that puts you in the top 10, doesn't it? Like, yeah,
of course it does. And they also got a lot of positive news that I think is going to really push them in now towards the end. And that's Derrick Henry should be back for the playoffs. Is what they've got. And I think that's worthy. He's such a difference maker for that team that's worthy of putting them into the top 10, putting them back into the top 10 spot because they get their best player back for the playoffs.
And I agree. And that's a big motivation for them as a team to keep going because we know we got King Henry coming back. Let's just keep the boat going forward. And then when he comes back for the playoffs, we'll take off again. Oh, I like the Titans at 10. At number 9, I got the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep. Yeah, so the Indianapolis Colts, I'm not their biggest fan because I don't trust their quarterback in the big situations, but they're 11 on my list is where I've got them. And I've got the Titans above them because the Titans are top of the division that the Colts are in. So, that make of that what you will. At number 9 for me, Buffalo Bills. Can't run the ball, so they're in at 9. They nearly beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They nearly beat them, and that's a big deal.
They're dead
for me. I know you think they're dead, but that's a big deal that they nearly beat the Buccaneers. But they'll fall off the edge of the list by the end of this week. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, let them mess around and lose to the Panthers, and you're going to have a digs uprising. But for me, I don't even have the Bills on my list. To me, they're dead. But I get it. They have talent. They're still in the mix. I get it completely. At number 8, that's where I got the Tennessee Titans at number 8.
Oh, wow. Yeah, number 8. That's a little high for me with their current team, but the fact that they're getting Henry back, it puts them up in the power rankings because he will be.
And being 9-4, it's hard to look at that and go,
Yeah. It's weird that they're 9-4 though, right? Like the fact that it feels like they've had a really easy schedule, and you are going to have an easier schedule if you get to play the Jags twice and the Texans twice. Like how real is that? I know the Cowboys have got the NFC East, but I would like to think that I would pick all of the NFC East teams to beat the Texans and the Jags as well. At number 8 for me, I have the Los Angeles Chargers for the pure fact that they have lots of different ways to beat you, and they have possibly one of the most premium quarterbacks in the NFL in Justin Herbert.
Chargers were number 11 for me on my list. I had them at 11 going through, but I like the Chargers. I just don't know if I have complete faith in them yet, but I don't think it's the worst pick for a top 10. I think a lot has to do with they have a young rookie coach. They're still building. But like I said in our last podcast, I think they absolutely have the ability to make the playoffs. But like the NFC, the AFC at the bottom is real packed up. So we'll see how that all plays out. For me, at number 7, I got your Cowboys at number 7.
For me, at number 7, I have my Cowboys. They're also sat. They're sat number 7 in my list as well. Look,
really,
yeah. It's the teams that are above them. I can't.
That's what it was for me. That's absolutely what it was for me.
The NFL is so
first. I had them
heavy.
at 5, and they ended up at 7.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with mine. So I said to myself when I started this list, I was like, the Cowboys are a number 5 quality team. But then I look at the wins that those teams above them got this week compared to the win that the Cowboys got this week. And the Cowboys were not the surest in their win, whereas the teams above them like got big wins or look really confident in their win. That probably gives away at least a couple of the teams. But anyway, but the Cowboys sat there. They're more talented than the number 7 spot, but they're not playing like they're more talented than the number 7 spot. But when you have a defense that can do what they're going to do, they can also beat any single team that they want to in the NFL. Just with the teams above them, I couldn't put them any higher. The NFL is so top heavy this year.
Yeah, it is really top heavy. And they can't be higher for me until Dak starts playing better. And we've talked about this before. They have every opportunity to be a way better team. You got to show me. That's it. So they're at number 7. So when all your Cowboy fan buddies come and beat me up this week, at least you'll be right there with me getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
At number 6, I got the revival of the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6, they're back.
I don't know if anybody just saw my eyes light up or my eyebrows move up there, but that's because me and Jay have never agreed on one of these as much as this. I had the Kansas City Chiefs sitting at number 6 as well. And they're back. They put the one thing that I asked them to do, which is switch their offense on, they did. So I have to move them up. I have to keep moving them up. And the only reason they're not higher is the same reason as the Cowboys. The teams above them got bigger wins this week, or one team above them got bigger wins, and then the other teams have been significantly better all season.
Yeah, the consistency, because the Chiefs actually have more wins than they probably you would think they would just after watching them. But for me, the number 5 team was the hardest. It was the hardest for me to place, and that would be the Los Angeles Rams at number 5.
I have the Los Angeles Rams at number 5. This is
I
insane.
swear we don't talk. I'm literally writing Maddie's picks down as we go.
This is the first time that we've agreed this much, and Jay's not hearing my picks at all. How I've got them set up is I've kind of got them in 3 tiers, or really it's kind of like 4 tiers. But so I've got like 10, 9, and 8. They're all in one tier for me at the minute. 7, 6, and 5 at the minute. They're all in one team. And then I've got 3 and 4, they've been interchangeable the whole time. And then 1 and 2 who've been interchangeable the whole time as well, is how I've kind of got them going up. And this group are just more consistent than the ones below. But the Rams had a bigger win than the other 2 this week because they just beat the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, let's shake it up to see if we can change this. Maddie, who you got at number 4?
I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 4.
We're good.
Cool.
Not the same.
Yeah.
We're good.
Cool. All right, I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in number 4. Just they're as an all-round team, an all-round consistency with the leadership that they have, the position that they've got in their division, the division that they have to play against as well. That they're what are they like in the probability of getting to the playoffs? There, 99.9% is their probability. Whereas the teams below them are still like 99%, but it's like 99.7 or something like that. They just They went out, they beat the Buffalo Bills, and they got the job done. And that's what you want to see from the Bucs. You want to see them just getting the job done, like getting to the playoffs, because for them, their season starts at the playoffs.
Well, at number 4, I got the best team in the AFC with the New England Patriots. Number 4, they've been riding up my board every week. I am so impressed with where they're at because I thought they'd get better, but I didn't think they'd be this team they are right now. I'm very impressed with the New England Patriots.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm so impressed with the New England Patriots. I've got them sitting at number 3 above the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've got them sitting at number 3. Just they're the best team in the AFC. And they are. They're just, if you're sat in the number 1 spot in your conference, then you deserve to be higher than a team that isn't sat in the number 1 spot in their conference, even if the NFC this year looks noticeably better than the AFC at the top of the division.
Well, I know we got different ones at number 2 because my number 2 team you already got out there at I screwed this up, Maddie. Where are we at?
It's all right. Number 3, you must have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Nope. I have the Arizona Cardinals, number 3.
Right.
Arizona.
Okay.
I had to do it like this. So the top 3 teams, I think, in the NFC are the balling teams right now. And I said to myself, if they had to play each other tomorrow, who would I bet on? And I bet on the Pack and the Bucs if they had to play the Cardinals, even though I love the Cardinals and think they could beat the other 2. But for this, I went with the Cardinals at number 3 because I think the other 2 teams would beat them if they played right now.
Do you think they've kind of like, when you look at the Rams game, do you think the big difference was that consistency that we're looking to at the end of the season? That consistency, that experience, that kind of players who've been in big situations before. You feel like the Arizona Cardinals don't have that as much as the Bucs and the Packers have that.
And when you hit a buzzsaw defense, they kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say the Vikings are off the hook, but the Vikings played them well this year in defensively and took them to overtime. And we can get into how that wasn't a fumble by Dalvin Cook, but we won't. But, they played tough. And if you watch the teams who play good defense against them, even when they win, they struggle a little. And just for right now, because this is a living thing and it can move, I think Kyler just didn't look like he was fully back from the injury and not hurt-wise, but clicking with his offense. I think he needs another week of practice back, and he'll be back and clicking again too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. Like I have the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 2nd for me. So, like their entire season altogether has just been so incredibly impressive that I can't bring them down for that loss to a really good Rams team where the Rams just came out and played really good football. Like, I can't move them much further down than that because I look at them and I'm just like, there is a ridiculous amount of talent every single... Like, the Buccaneers have that experienced talent like Tom Brady, Gronk, where their brains are going to beat you, as well as having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette, who are...
And AB probably coming back. And
yeah, AB probably coming back. But they have more of an aged, experienced talent, like behavior where they beat you with their mind. Whereas the Cardinals can just do things that other teams just can't do just because they play so fast and they just have players that are so quick. And if you come up against that, there's just no way of stopping it because there are not many teams that have as many players as fast as they do in the NFL. And there's sometimes just nothing you can do against that. And that's why I have the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 2nd.
Well, at number 2 for me, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting there at number 2. I think the Bucs are clicking. I think this is exactly what we saw happen last year. And when they're playing like this and you got all the guys you just mentioned, I don't need to run down the list of names again. And that's not even including the guys on the defense with Vita Vea back. It's looking better. Yeah, I just say Buccaneers right now, week 15, second best team in football.
Yeah, and then for number 1, it's, as it has been for the past couple of weeks, the Green Bay Packers for the both of us.
Well, and I had the Cards up 1 and then the Packers back, but now the Packers are back up at number 1. I even said, though, when I had the Cards up there, it was because the way they played without Kyler, even though personally, I think the Packers are probably the best team in football, but I had to give it to the Cards because they rode a bad hand to keep winning.
Yeah, and the Packers have had a bad hand for a couple of weeks, and they've still been winning. They've honestly, like, the amount of players that they've been missing, the fact that they've still been winning, like, I think that's going to really help them later down the line because now all of their replacements have minutes and they have winning experience. There's just not much more that you can say about them. And as a Dallas Cowboys fan and as a Minnesota Vikings fan, we try and say as little about the Packers being in our number one spot as much as we possibly can.
That is true. Well, everybody, that's our week power rankings. Keep your eye open. We got a lot more content coming out. We really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So, like, make sure you check out our betting line video. That's a new one that we've done. And thanks for watching, guys. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.